You're with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. We're making a start with the horrifying case of custodial death, alleged custodial death that has been reported from Thoothukudi in Tamil Nadu. There have been 3 days protests regarding the father and son duo who died when in police custody. The Madras High Court has come down heavily on the state police. In the hearing today, it has called these multiple instances of police attacking people in the state as a pandemic. That's how harsh the words here today have been of the court in making this observation in this horrifying case. We should remember here Jayaraj, who was a trader in Thoothukudi, was picked up by the police on the 19th of June for having violated lockdown norms and keeping his shop open. Later, when his son went to the police looking for him but did not return, so the son was arrested as well. The family was informed of both their deaths on the 22nd and the 23rd of June. The High Court has now instructed the police to safeguard whatever evidence and footage is available related to this case, because the police could not file the autopsy report today amidst the lockdown. We have with us our correspondent Pramod getting us those details here. Pramod, this is a very, very strong condemnation of the state police now that has come in from court. And the court also further going ahead and instructing the police, saying that it's your job to safeguard evidence now in this case.
Yes, and the court has also very clearly mentioned that you do not undermine the court when it comes to providing justice to such victims, and that's the reason it has actually equated such police brutality to another a pandemic because of which people are suffering. And just like you mentioned, the court also has stated that various records, starting from when they were taken to the police station to CCTV footages from various locations, be it the police station or the hospital or the prison, and also the records from the COVID-19 prison, all should be preserved and secured and to be made sure that it will be available at any time when the court asks. So these are the steps that have been put forward by the Madras High Court Madrid bench, and it also has made it very sure that appropriate action will be taken after hearing on it.
Pramod, please stay on with us because we're getting in more voices. This is essentially of the opposition in the state here, which has continued to slam the state government, the state police in handling of this case and handling of the situation. Let's get in a word here from the AIDMK spokesperson, Kovai Satyan, with us over the phone line. Many thanks for being with us. Are you satisfied with what has been observed by the court today? The court making it very clear in wrapping the knuckles of the police, the state police in this case here, and also finding the need to give this instruction to the police that the evidence will need to be protected.
And our Chief Minister made it pretty much clear that people who have taken law into their hands will not be spared. And this, whatever the evidence is being produced before the court and whatever the court direction will be obeyed. And as you're aware that the incident happened on 19th when the arrest took place, the person passed away on 22nd night. And my humble submission and request to the media as well as to the opposition not to brand this as a custodial death, because there has to be an investigation. Investigation is done. The reports have been submitted. And Chief Minister has clearly stated, he has sent out a circular day for yesterday itself. 2 of them are suspended. 1 is being put on the waiting list. And whatever the evidence that comes through, that comes out, if the police are taken law into their hands and if the brutality is established, definitely they will be punished and they will not be spared.
Right, but Mr. Kovai Satyan, 2 deaths in fact, that have been taken while the 2 people were in police custody. It would be called custodial death then?
No, I'm not sure how you can term it as a custodial death. The custodial death is one when the police acted in brutality and the person dies inside the police booth itself. But on 19th night, they have been arrested. On 20th morning, after taking the magistrate opinion, producing them in front of the magistrate and doing a medical examination and screening, they were sent to the prison on 20th morning. On 22nd, that is exactly almost after 50 hours, the person complains of uneasiness inside the prison. So I think these are all the evidence which is being put out. All we are saying, all the CM said very clearly is, if the death is emerged out of police brutality or somebody who has taken law into their hands, despite they being the public servants, they shall not be spared. So definitely justice will be rendered to the family. Justice will be rendered
Right, and
best possible way.
we're not just taking into account of what the Chief Minister has said. It's more important to take into account what the High Court today has said in finding the need to slam the state police first, and also in finding the need to instruct the police, which is the police's job to begin with, but still in instructing the police to protect evidence in this case. Please stay with us, because we've also been taking into account what the state political opposition has been saying here on this as well. Let's take a listen in.
2 பேர் கொலை செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கிறார்கள். அதற்கு காரணமானவர்கள் தண்டிக்கப்பட வேண்டும். ஒரு கொலை நடந்தால் அதுக்கு என்ன தண்டனை கிடைக்குமோ அந்த தண்டனை அதற்கு காரணமானவர்களுக்கு, அவர்கள் காவல்துறை அதிகாரிகளாக இருந்தாலும் யாராக இருந்தாலும் அவங்களுக்கு அந்த தண்டனை விதிக்கப்பட வேண்டும், கிடைக்க வேண்டும்.
அரசு அறிவிப்பை எப்படி பாக்குறீங்க? தலா 10 லட்சம் ரூபாய் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, சஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க, அந்த விசாரணை அடிப்படை மேல் நடவடிக்கைன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க.
10 லட்சம் காம்பன்சேஷன் பணம் அப்படிங்கிறது 2 உயிர்களுக்கு ஈடாகாது. நியாயமாவது குறைந்தபட்சம் நியாயம் கிடைக்க வேண்டும். அதுல எந்த குறுக்கீடும் இல்லாமல் விசாரணை நடைபெற வேண்டும், உண்மை வெளியே வர வேண்டும்.
Well, that was Thoothukudi MP, Ms. Kanimuri of the DMK, who had given a statement here on this. She's with us on the phone line here as well. Appreciate you being with us, ma'am. Your reaction after what the court has stated, in being very stern with the police, to the extent saying that police brutality is also no less than any pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, this is not the only case which has happened. There have been instances before, and it is happening all over the country. I think this has to be stopped. This cannot continue, and it has to be stopped. And 2 innocent people who were just taken and to police custody have been killed and murdered. And there are actually, according to the Supreme Court, there is a lot of checks and balances to make sure this doesn't happen. But everything has failed. Every single check and balance has failed. So we have to look at this. And this is a time to introspect. This is a time to create a new set of laws and checks and balances so that this is not repeated. And it's just not one single stray incident. It is happening every day all over the country. And this is bringing a very bad name to the police force. This is not against, I'm not making a statement against the police force. You should remember there are many thousands of officers who put their life on line, and they're working for this to control this pandemic. But it is people for bringing this has to stop. And this case, I think we have to take it as an example to stop. But
Ms. Kanimuri, what's your reaction to the AIDMK? They're saying that the opposition or the media should not be calling this a case of police brutality. This is a case of 2 deaths that have taken place while in police custody. Should there be apprehension in calling this custodial deaths or calling this police brutality?
Is nothing else, and the statement has said
All right, we'll have to reconnect with Ms. Kanimuri on that in just a bit, but we still have a voice from the AIDMK spokesperson, Mr. Kovai Satyan, with us still over the phone line. Mr. Satyan, thanks for holding the line there. This is a view that is coming from the political opposition. She's been very careful in not attacking the state government, in not attacking the state police, but saying that this is a larger menace, a larger malice that each one of us need to look within. Should the ruling state government then be giving out statements here that further investigations here on this should be on? Should there be an admission coming in, yes, that these deaths took place while the 2 people were in police custody? There is much to look within Why can't the ruling government, state police say that as well? There is much to look within the system which has gone wrong today.
Every department needs reforms as and when time passes by, and the couple of awareness activities by the public, particularly the police officials, definitely being larger disrepute to the government and the governance. I wholeheartedly appreciate and welcome the Honorable Member of the Parliament, Kanimuli's statement that there has to be a holistic approach throughout the nation. But as far as this is concerned, our only request was whatever the Honorable MP spoke, their counterparts and colleagues are painting a different picture inside Tamil Nadu through their media channels, and they are trying to do a media trial on the same. So our submission was, since court has already taken this on a suo motu, and the matter was pending before the court, all we said is, all our CM assured was, the guilty shall not be spared, and definitely this will be looked into. And the DAG has already sent in a circular of SOP day before yesterday itself, instructing all the police personnel and their conduct and whatsoever it is. So our request was, let's not try to drive the agenda of our own by doing a media trial on this. But let's look at the law, let's look at what law says, and let's abide by the law. That's what our Chief Minister also reiterated yesterday in a press briefing as well.
But Mr. Kovai Satyan, there have been protests. We are looking at 3 days of protests here. In fact, I'm going to put this question forth here to Ms. Kanimuri, reconnected with us. Appreciate your time here, ma'am. There have been protests. The family has continued to allege, to the extent the court has now taken suo motu cognizance. You think that the police would have stepped in looking within and looking at action that needs to be taken within the system, had not the High Court stepped in on this with suo motu cognizance?
Before they were taken into judicial custody, there was a medical officer who should have examined the people who've been taken into custody. And they give a certificate that they were fit to be remanded. How could anybody give, looking at them, why did the doctor give a certificate that they were fit if they were not? And how did the authorities in the jail accept somebody who were so badly beaten up? Before they were taken to prison, I think they had to change both their clothes so many times because they were bleeding profusely. They were bleeding from their rectum. They could not stop the bleeding. So,
yes.
Two people in such bad condition, how did they not admit them straight to the hospital? How were they taken into judicial custody? There are so many questions here. And you have just taken, because the shop was not closed on time. Two people have been taken into custody, and you're saying interrogation, and you've killed them. I mean, how do you justify this? And how do you justify the kind of violence?
Mr. Kovai Satyan, please respond to that, because this is...
I'm waiting. I don't want to interfere when somebody is talking.
Yes.
My time comes.
Mr. Kovai Satyan, if you could please respond to that here. Yes.
All we are saying is we abide
I'm asking
by
for
the
your
law,
response, please, Mr. Satyan.
Yes. We are not standing behind the police officers and trying to defend their actions here. All we are saying is, then, since an inquiry is being conducted, the matter is pending before the court, let the truth emerge out, and whoever is found guilty in the ecosystem, if the Honorable MP has got a apprehension saying that the medical officer is erroneous, he had given a fake certificate, and they were produced in front of a magistrate who had sent them to the jail. So my point is, whoever is found erroneous, whoever has taken law into their hands, they will not be spared, is what assurance the Chief Minister has given. So we are not standing behind somebody who has committed a crime and saying that no, they are Puritans, they are immaculate, and the story is being cooked out. We are not saying that. All we are saying is, let the law take its own course of action. Whoever is guilty, they shall not be spared. We are on the same page like what law says. We are on the same page like
absolutely.
What
law will take its own course here, but now we're grateful to the suo motu cognizance of the High Court here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had even the state government taking in further note of this. Remember, the court has already observed that this is an increasing frequency with which reports of police beating up the common man is being reported here. This nature of case is as much a pandemic in society. These have been very strong words that have come in from the High Court. There's a lot for the Tamil Nadu government and the state police to worry about here, because it has required the need of the High Court to actually tell the police to protect evidence in this case, which is their job to begin with. Appreciate those voices speaking with us here. Our correspondent Pramod with those details as well. We're back in just a bit with more news and updates.